Hello students, welcome to Alphos e-learning. We are discussing preparation of carbonyl compounds and this is session 78. In previous session, we was learned few methods of preparation of carbonyl compounds, particularly by using Grignard reagent or by action of Grignard reagent upon carboxylic acid derivatives like acid chlorides, anhydrides, esters. Let us continue the same sequence here. Not only with carboxylic acid, esters, with orthoformates, esters or any orthoesters, Grignard reagent gives aldehydes and ketones. Let us see the reaction. Orthoformates, action of Grignard reagent upon orthoformates. I used to consider orthoformate ester. Here orthoformate ester, as we know that HC double bond O, OC2H5, it is ethyl formate. Here instead of the C double bond O group also, if two OC2H5 groups are there, then it is called ethyl orthoformate. So these ethyl orthoformate are here instead of this hydrogen, we can use any group here, and in such a case, we are getting, for example, if we are using CH3, such a case we are getting ethyl acetate. Here ethyl formate, instead of hydrogen, if we are using any group, then its name will be changed. If CH3 is there, then it is called ethyl acetate, like that. Now, this one upon reaction with same methyl magnesium iodide Grignard reagent, as we know here CH3 gets negative charge, and this one the CH3 minus attacks upon OC2H5 containing carbon, then we are getting HCO2H5 CH3, and here MgI plus combined with OC2H5, then we are getting MgI OC2H5. This one comes out. Now this one upon hydrolysis, here this OC2H5, both bonds are going to cleave. Here HOH, here HOH. Then we are getting acetaldehyde. Upon reaction with the Grignard reagent, orthoformates, gives aldehyde. So here formic acid ester we considered, that's why we are getting acetaldehyde. Now you need to understand here, whatever the number of carbon atoms present in this alkyl group, that is not a criteria. Whatever the number of carbon atoms in this group is not a criteria. Ultimately, in the formed carbonyl compound, how many carbon atoms will be there? That depends upon what number of carbon atoms are here and what number of carbon atoms are present in Grignard reagent. Now, I used to consider here CH3 group, CH3, COC2H5, OC2H5 like this. This one upon treatment with methyl magnesium bromide, this CH3 minus displaces nothing but SN reaction, this one. So displaces one of the C2H5 group and we are getting CH3, OC2H5, OC2H5 and CH3. We are getting like this. And this one upon hydrolysis, this OC2H5 group will be replaced by OH and water molecule elimination. Further we are getting CH3, C double bond O, CH3. So we are getting acetone. So it is very clear what number of carbon atoms are present in the ester. Here is not required. Now, if here only hydrogen is there, in such a case, whatever the number of carbon atom containing alkyl group is there in Grignard reagent, ultimately you are getting aldehyde. Means Grignard reagent, whatever the number of carbon atoms are there in alkyl group, it's not a criteria. But in ester, orthoformate ester, or in ester, ortho ester, hydrogen, if it is there, in such a case, aldehyde you are getting. If instead of hydrogen, any alkyl group like methyl, ethyl, phenyl, anyone, obviously we are getting ketone. So here, concept is very clear. Only orthoformate, formic acid ester, orthoformate, ethyl groups are there, ethyl orthoformate. And what about this one? Ethyl orthoacetate. So this one is not formate, this one is orthoacetate. Orthoacetate group is there. So because of orthoacetate, here methyl group is there. Obviously you are getting ketone. You are getting ketone. Means only you can prepare aldehyde when we are using orthoformate. Except orthoformate, any other ester if we are using, we are getting ketones. Next method of preparation is Rosenmann's reduction, and this method is used only for preparation of aldehydes. Rosenmann's reduction, acid chlorides upon reduction with acid chlorides, carboxylic acid chlorides. Carboxylic acid chlorides already we discussed with the Grignard reagent, and second one is Rosenmann's reduction. Carboxylic acid chlorides upon reduction in presence of palladium, barium sulfate, boiling sulfur or xylene. Boiling sulfur or xylene, we are getting aldehydes. Here, palladium, barium sulfate. Palladium is catalyst. Barium sulfate is catalytic poisoner. And boiling sulfur or xylene, it acts as a solvent. Here, sulfur also acts as catalytic poisoner, and barium sulfate to prevent the active sites of palladium. I am repeating, palladium is catalyst and it has more active sites. When we are adding barium sulfate or calcium carbonate, then what happens? It occupies some of the active sites. Further, it reduces catalytic activity of the catalyst. That means palladium catalytic activity is reduced by barium sulfate or calcium carbonate. And means it decreases, it suppresses the catalytic activity of catalyst. And boiling sulfur or xylene, this boiling sulfur or xylene is nothing but again catalytic poisoner, which is used to remove the catalyst completely. So overall, if you observe this reagents, here very controlled reduction. What happens if barium sulfate is not there or boiling sulfur or xylene is not there? In such a case, formed aldehyde further reduced to alcohols. That's why here when we are using palladium means hydrogenation, but when we are using palladium in presence of barium sulfate decreases the catalytic activity of the catalyst, and boiling sulfur or xylene acts as only solvent, means not only solvent but also catalytic poisoners. So after formation of aldehyde, reaction will be stopped. Now here from acid chlorides, Rosenmann's reduction, we can prepare aldehyde. Can we prepare any ketone here? Here there is no scope for preparing any ketone. So we can prepare only aldehydes. But from this acid chloride, we can also prepare aldehydes. By using controlled reduction, by using bulky reducing agents, which we was discussed in previous sessions. So bulky reducing agent, for example, if we consider lithium aluminum hydride, this lithium aluminum hydride is a strong reducing agent, and if you use acid chloride, then what happened? Acid chloride first reduced to aldehyde, and further aldehydes also reduced to alcohols. That's why lithium aluminum hydride we are not supposed to use. Hence, here it is better to use all the hydrogens, means out of 4 hydrogens, 3 hydrogens has to replace with alkyl groups. In such a case, at this reagent only one hydrogen will be there and it acts as control reducing agent. That's why I am going to use here lithium tri-tertiary butyl aluminum hydride. Lithium tri-tertiary butyl aluminum hydride. Lithium tri-tertiary butyl aluminum hydride. What happened? In lithium aluminum hydride, 3 hydrogens are replaced by 3 tri-tertiary butyl groups. So tri-tertiary butyl groups, if you replace, then we are writing LiAlH. Right now it has only one hydrogen. Remaining 3 are tri-tertiary butyl groups. In such a case, it do not act as such a strong reducing agent, and here obviously reaction will be stopped after formation of aldehyde. That's why acid chlorides are C double bond OCl upon reduction, this reduction is what we call controlled reduction, and by using lithium tri-tertiary butyl aluminum hydride, so 3 groups are there, 3 groups tri-tertiary butyl groups, C4HCl groups, tertiary butyl groups. Here this one upon reduction we are getting aldehydes. Not only carboxylic acid derivatives in that acid chlorides, but also esters. But for that we need to use different reagents. Let us see here. So when we are using tri-tertiary butyl lithium aluminum hydride or tri-tertiary butyl tin hydride, tertiary butyl tin hydride, also actually SnH4, in that 3 hydrogens are replaced by 3 tertiary butyl groups. So in this case what happened? Only one hydrogen it can provide, one hydride it can provide. That means it acts as controlled reducing agent. So tri-tertiary butyl tin hydride also we can use here. SnC4H9 taken thrice H. So this one also, either lithium tri-tertiary butyl lithium aluminum hydride or tri-tertiary butyl tin hydride. Either of these we are getting aldehydes. But when we are using sodium aluminum hydride or diisobutyl aluminum hydride, diabolic H. Sodium aluminum hydride or diisobutyl aluminum hydride, these reagents specifically reduces even carboxylic esters into aldehydes. Why you are saying even carboxylic esters? So in case of acid chloride, positive charge upon this carbonyl carbon is more because of pi electrons are shifted towards oxygen, and chlorine also acts as electron pulling group. It pulls electron towards itself. Resultant here positive charge will be more. But in case of carboxylic esters, if you observe RC double bond OR, here RC double bond OR, oxygen donates electron pair. That means whenever positive charge appears here, plus some effect is there. That's why positive charge density upon this carboxylic carbon is less. So here, even though when we are using sodium aluminum hydride or diabolic H, in such a case, what happened? This one sodium aluminum hydride and diabolic H, either of these two, either sodium aluminum hydride or diabolic H, we are getting aldehydes as products. Means further aldehydes do not reduce to alcohols. So can we prepare ketones in this method? As I mentioned that in Rosenmann's reduction method we cannot prepare ketone. That is fixed. Rosenmann's reduction, controlled reduction. But controlled reduction how? We are using negative catalyst and we are using catalytic poisoner, barium sulfate negative catalyst, and catalytic poisoner is boiling sulfur or xylene. So when by using a negative catalyst and catalytic poisoner, we are controlling reduction, whereas in these methods we are not using any catalytic poisoner, but we are using a specific reagent, means the reagent which can reduce up to a certain extent. So such reagents we are going to use, like tri-tertiary butoxy lithium aluminum hydride or tri-tertiary butyl tin hydride. Such reagents for acid chlorides and for acid esters, carboxylic esters, because compared to acid chlorides, carboxylic esters are less reactive. That's why little bit more powerful reagents required. Hence we are going to use lithium aluminum hydride or diabolic H, these reagents we are specifically using. So when we are using that, the carboxylic acid converts into aldehydes. And can we prepare a ketone? Yes, we can prepare ketone. Already we learned from carboxylic acid chlorides, we can prepare ketone simply by using Grignard reagent. By using Grignard reagent, we was learned in previous session. Now, here same carboxylic acid means carboxylic RC1 acid chloride, carboxyl acid chloride, carboxylic acid chloride. Instead of Grignard reagent, we have to use Gilman reagent. We have to use Gilman reagent. I think you know Gilman reagent is nothing but dialkyl copper lithium or dialkyl cadmium. These reagents we need to use. In such a case, we can prepare ketones. So when we learn Grignard reagent, there we mentioned, means I used to mention there, this method is not that much good method. This method is not satisfactory method because of formed ketones further reduced to alcohols. Carboxylic acids upon reduction with the Grignard reagent, you are getting ketones, but that ketones further reduced to alcohols. There I used to mention there. But when we are using dialkyl copper lithium or dialkyl cadmium, such reagents, a reaction gives satisfactory yields of ketones. Satisfactory yields of ketones. So ketones from acid chlorides. Let us take RC double bond OCl, carboxylic acid chloride. This one upon reaction with the dialkyl cadmium. As we know that carbon attached to metal directly, such compounds are called organometallic compounds. In organometallic compounds, alkyl group, alkyl carbon acquires negative charge and metal is going to be positive charge. So from dialkyl cadmium, R minus has to approach this carbonyl group, carbonyl carbon, then we are getting RCO minus, here R. Let us assume this is R dash, and Cl. Upon reversal, the Cl minus has to come out. That means here we are getting RC double bond O R dash plus here after leaving R minus we are getting RCdCl. But simply we can write instead of writing like this 2 moles of acid chloride because of 2 chlorine required here and R dash taken twice Cd, then we are getting RC double bond O R dash. These 2 moles you are getting and along with the cadmium chloride is CdCl2. So in dialkyl cadmium R minus displaces Cl minus, or in acid chloride Cl minus displaced by R minus of dialkyl cadmium. So in this reaction, can we prepare any aldehyde? In Rosenmund's reaction, Rosenmund's reduction, we cannot prepare ketones. That method is applicable only for aldehydes. Now in this method, can we prepare any aldehydes here? No. We are getting only ketones. As I mentioned that here not only dialkyl cadmium, dialkyl copper lithium also. Dialkyl copper lithium also. So RC double bond OCl upon reaction with CH3 taken twice CuLi. CH3 taken twice CuLi. Let us take 2 moles here. 2 moles of acid chloride upon reaction with Gilman reagent, dialkyl copper lithium. Gilman reagent, this one. Gilman reagent. Now, CH3 minus has to come and attack upon carbonyl carbon. Then we are getting RC double bond OCH3 means Cl minus displaced by CH3 minus. Then we are getting one is CuCl and LiCl. So this is the method which we can prepare ketones, from acid chlorides and with satisfactory yield, not like that Grignard reagent. In case of Grignard reagent, R minus Mg plus is there. Mg plus strongly stabilizes that O minus. That's why further reduction also possible. In this case, cadmium or copper, in these cases, that O minus stabilization tendency is relatively less. That's why reaction will be stopped after formation of ketones and further ketones reduction will be difficult. That's why we are getting ketones with satisfactory yield. Next method from nitriles. Nitriles upon reduction gives imines and imines upon hydrolyze gives aldehydes. Nitriles upon reduction gives imines. Imines upon hydrolysis gives aldehydes. But we should be very careful because of imines consist three bonds, means triple bonds, of which only one pi bond has to reduce. That means, let us see here, this reaction from nitriles we can prepare only aldehydes, and that method is what we call Stephen's reduction. That method what we call Stephen's reduction. So in Stephen's reduction, I used to consider RC triple bond N. Nitriles or cyanides RC triple bond N. This one upon reduction by using SnCl2 and HCl. SnCl2 and HCl. Actually, SnCl2 upon reaction with HCl, we are getting H2SnCl4. This one is a strong reducing agent. So when we are using SnCl2 and HCl, what happened here? Here one of the pi bond is going to break, and here one hydrogen, and here one hydrogen has to add. Then we are getting RCH double bond NH. RCH double bond NH. Now here we are using HCl. Since we are using HCl, what happened here? This NH converts into NH2 plus and Cl minus. So earlier RCH double bond NH, this is called imine. Here iminium chloride means imine salt, iminium chloride. Because of iminium chloride we are getting this one reduction further a little bit difficult. Means here if you are not using excess of HCl, then there is a possibility to convert that imine into amine, primary amine. Whereas here when we are using excess of HCl, then what happened? Then excess of HCl is going to react with formed imine and converts into iminium chloride, and this iminium chloride salt upon hydrolysis, during hydrolysis what happened? Here this one nitrogen has negative charge, means lone pair, that's why hydrogen goes this side, OH group comes this side. During hydrolysis, then we are getting RC double bond OH plus NH3 and HCl. That means here first nitrile upon reduction, for that reduction what we are using? SnCl2 and HCl. If we are using SnCl2 and HCl, such reduction is called Stephen's reduction. If you are using any other reagent, that reaction we are not supposed to call as Stephen's reduction. And ultimately here, from nitriles upon reduction we are getting only aldehydes. We are not supposed to get any ketones here. We are getting only aldehydes. Now SnCl2 with HCl, we have to use excess of HCl. Then iminium chloride you are getting. After formation of iminium chloride, if you want mechanism here, I'll explain. So water molecule, during hydrolysis, water molecule attacks upon this carbon. Because of nitrogen base positive charge, this pulls pi electrons towards itself. Resultant RCHOH2 plus. Here oxygen is going to bear positive charge and NH2. Next case, this one leaves H plus and RCHOH NH3 plus, means this H plus taken by again this nitrogen. Then this one acts as a leaving group, and this oxygen is going to donate electrons. RC double bond OH plus H and NH3 comes out here, and later final step H plus comes out. We are getting RC double bond OH. So first we are getting, actually in absence of HCl you may get amines, but when we are using excess of HCl, reaction will be stopped after formation of iminium chloride, and iminium chloride upon hydrolysis. Simply instead of writing mechanism every time this much, I am going to break simply these bonds, and of carbon and nitrogen is more electronegative. That's why H plus goes to nitrogen, and towards carbon OH minus I am going to write like that. But if you want mechanism, you go through like this. So by breaking both the bonds to OH groups, from two OH groups again water molecule elimination, and we are getting aldehyde. Whereas if you write mechanism, how hydrolysis performs here, so water molecule has to approach the carbon and pi electrons are pulled strongly towards nitrogen. Resultant we are getting OH2 plus and H plus will be transferred from oxygen to nitrogen. Then NiH3 plus will leave away because of its leaving group and oxygen give back its electron. You are getting aldehyde. Now, is it necessary to use SnCl2 and HCl? Yes. For Stefan's reduction, that only reagent. But we can prepare aldehydes from nitriles. We can prepare aldehydes from nitriles by using few other reagents. So, in that other reagents, diol H, diisobutyl aluminum hydride, diisobutyl aluminum hydride is good reducing agent. And one more, the specialty of this reagent is it is not going to reduce carbon-carbon double bonds. It's not going to reduce carbon-carbon double bonds. It reduces only carbon-nitrogen double bonds. Diol H reduces only carbon-nitrogen triple bonds but not carbon-carbon double bonds. Let us see. The same nitrile RC triple bond N upon reduction by using diol H, diisobutyl aluminum hydride, then we are getting compound RCH double bond NH, RCH double bond NH. As we know, diisobutyl aluminum hydride. So instead of AlH3 aluminum hydride, 2 hydrogens are replaced by 2 isobutyl groups, diisobutyl aluminum hydride, and it is also reducing agent but selective but poor reducing agent because of it consists only 1 H minus. Then you are getting imine. This imines upon hydrolysis again H here, OH here, we are getting RC double bond OH. Aldehyde means from nitrile, if we are using SnCl2 and HCl, then that is Stefan's reduction. And instead of that, if you are using diol H, that is not Stefan reduction. But even though we can prepare aldehydes, I'm going to consider CH3, CH double bond CH, CH2, C triple bond N. Here, unsaturation is there at carbon-nitrogen triple bond, and unsaturation also there carbon-carbon double bond. It means here two unsaturations we can find. Either of them means what we are expecting when we are using diol H. So it prefers less hindered. Means terminal unsaturation only gets reduced but not carbon-carbon double bond. Now in that case we are getting CH3, CH double bond CH. Its unsaturation still remains there only, and CH2, CH double bond NH. This one upon hydrolysis we are getting CH3, CH double bond CH, CH2, C double bond OH. Just now we discussed this diol H, diisobutyl aluminum hydride, and from that we can prepare aldehydes. Even though from esters. I'm repeating once again. Not only from nitriles with diol H, you are getting aldehydes. Not only from unsaturated nitriles by using diol H, we are getting unsaturated aldehydes. But also, if you are using esters, carboxylic acid esters, say CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. So methyl propanoate, I am going to consider this ester. And whatever the number of carbon atoms are here, it's not criteria. CH2 taken 9 times you can take. So here whatever you can take ester, ultimately this one upon reduction with diol H and followed by hydrolysis. Upon reaction with diol H followed by hydrolysis, we are getting same number, means instead this OCH3 group will be replaced and we are getting CH3, CH2 taken 9 times, C double bond OH. So we are getting same compound, means here we are getting same carbon chain and one OR group will be replaced by simply H. That means diol H reagent, by using diol H reagent we can prepare aldehydes from nitriles and unsaturated nitriles. because unsaturation, carbon unsaturation is not getting reduced by diol H. That's why unsaturation, even though unsaturation, unsaturated nitriles, if we consider, you are getting unsaturated aldehydes, means unsaturation, without disturbing unsaturation, reaction proceeds. And not only nitriles but also carboxylic esters. This carboxylic esters also gets reduced by diol H followed by hydrolysis. Then we are getting same number of carbon chain, but OR group will be displaced by H. OR group will be displaced by H. Carbon chain remains same. I am not saying that number of carbons remains same. I am saying that carbon chain is nothing but main root word is not going to change, and there will be only OR group will be replaced by H.